Good afternoon, participants. Thank you so much for joining us today on the workshop on how to prepare bots and chatbots. Chatbots. We have come to an era where we want to minimize talks and automate it as much as possible. Chatbots are one such tool. Also called chatterbots, it is a form of artificial intelligence used in messaging. This tool helps add convenience for the customers. They are automated programs that interact with the customers like a human would and cost little to nothing to engage with. Dr. Sunil Sikka, Associate Professor, Amity School of Engineering and Technology, is here with us today to do a practical workshop for all of you on how to prepare bots and chatbots. He also had Center of Robotics and has a deep learning experience in AI, ML, and robotics. But before we start, let's have a glimpse of Amity University Gurugram, how we are creating a culture of research and innovation at its Gurugram campus. University faculty and students have filed more than 170 patents, has written 5,000 plus research papers, and has secured more than 30 crore funding from the various government agencies like DBT, DST, and many more. Let's have a glimpse through the video, and post that we'll start with the workshop.
Amity University Gurgaon, established in 2010. In a few years' time, it has surged ahead to be adjudged the top private university in Haryana by India Today, as well as CMAI. Spread across 110 acres, it has won numerous awards like the Best Private University of the Year 2015 by SHM. Building on its foundation of academic excellence, Amity University Gurgaon has established diverse centers of excellence for breakthrough advancements like the Amity Center for BRICS Studies, Amity Center for Robotics, Amity Center for Nanotechnology, Amity Center for Stem Cell Research, Amity Center for Ocean Atmospheric Science and Technology, and many more. Constantly striving for excellence in all aspects, Amity University Gurgaon has entered into a collaborative program with Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, IITM Pune, established under the aegis of Safar Mapan for measuring and monitoring air quality. The campus also has a unique military training camp where thousands of Amity students from all campuses go through military training modules that instill strong feelings of patriotism and hone strategic leadership skills. As part of a leading research-driven university, numerous innovations of Amity students have earned international and national recognition, such as solar-powered vehicles, the Amity Bionic Arm, and the Amity Humanoid. Extensive industry interaction initiatives have seen the likes of Sunil Bharati Mittal, Chairman Bharti Enterprise, that is Airtel, Paytm founder Vijay Shekhar Sharma, and eminent scientist Padma Bhushan Dr. Govindarajan Padmanabhan visiting and engaging with Amity students. A big thrust area for the university is creating positive social impact. As part of the Amity mission to eradicate preventive blindness, Amity Eye Camps have provided free treatment and cataract surgery to over 12,000 Haryana villages. The 3-year-old annual Amity Gurgaon Marathon, which has seen participation from over 30,000 runners, besides making people health conscious, highlights various social issues. The Amity student community also actively participates in social initiatives like Udan to educate underprivileged children. Students are also driving cancer awareness camps. Swachhata Abhiyan inspired Clean the City drives, regular blood donation camps. Amity University Gurgaon is India's only university and Asia's second to be awarded the LEED USA Platinum certification, the highest standard worldwide for environmentally responsible design, construction and operations of existing buildings.
Amity also offers you a basket of career-focused disciplines in all streams of interest to Class 12 students like you. Let's take a glance.
let's take a glimpse of the pulsating campus life at Amity University, Gurgaon, that goes beyond academic excellence, which allows you to flourish as an individual by organizing and participating in diverse cultural events and competitions such as Youth Fest or being a part of Sangathan, the Inter-Amity Institution's sports meet that marks the birthday of Amity's founder-president. You get countless opportunities to enhance your organizational, teamwork and leadership skills. At Amity University, Gurgaon, you follow a learning and development curve that is designed to help you stay ahead of the future by empowering you to dream and carve out a vision. It has been conceived to help you optimize your true potential. So if you see yourself joining the League of Indian Visionaries shown earlier, then go ahead and envision a better tomorrow for yourself and for India.
So thank you so much for watching the video. I would request Dr. Sunil Sikka to please take over and start the workshop. Dear student, if you have any questions, you can put it into the question bank. We will be definitely taking it at the end of the session. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sachil sir, for providing me the opportunity to give the workshop on developing chatbots here on the virtual platform. So let me share my screen. So actually our topic is developing chatbots using data flow and robotic process automation. And I am Dr. Sunil Sikka, working as an associate professor with computer science and engineering department at Amity University, Haryana. And also I am handling Center of Robotics and AI at AUH. And quickly, we will have just a look on the basic theory behind the chatbot, and then quickly we will switch over to the practical implementation of the chatbots. So my first slide is, what is robot? So all of you know that robot is simply a programmable machine that is capable to carry some complex series of tasks automatically. And generally, whenever we'll talk about the robot, the picture that comes in the mind is the picture that you can see here. So this kind of picture comes in our mind, and this is basically known as humanoid. Okay, but let me clear you, humanoid is not only one kind of robot. There are a lot of robots that are not in humanoid in structure. Okay. Now it's a question time. So very quickly, one question: can a robot be only software? Generally, robot means combination of both hardware and software. Okay, there are some sensors, cameras, structured, and there's some program that is at the background of that structure who's working. So is it possible that we can have a robot which is purely software? Okay, all of you cannot reply, but just think in the mind, and you may share on the chat window also. And okay, let me tell you that yes, answer is yes. A robot can also be purely software. Okay, and we call such type of robots as generally bots. So bot are basically robots that are purely software based, or simply you may say these are the programs that can perform some tasks repetitively. Okay, and the purpose is to replace the human being behavior, okay, to make the task easy and fast. For example, you may take an example that there's a computer operator. What that computer operator is doing, computer operator is entering some data in some web form. So repeatedly, what he is doing the same task again and again. Okay, and here the operator is a human being. So can we develop a bot that can just replace that human being and can do the task of the human being? Yes, we can do it. And here the role of the bots comes into the picture. Here are few examples you must be aware. These are few very important example of the bots. chatbot, which is our main topic. We will discuss it in detail. And the next web crawlers, then social bots. Okay, so chatbot we will discuss in the detail, and web crawlers are some bots which can just go into the internet on the web and can scrap or search the desired content. Social bots are the bots which can work on the social media platforms just like your Facebook and Twitter, etc. Now the next question is bot always good? Good means is bot always designed to do some constructive task or some task which is very genuine? So you can think the answer in your mind for 5 seconds. Now let me release the answer. The answer is no. We can have the bots which can perform some malicious activities, and we call such bots as bad bots. Okay, so we may have the good bots as well as the bad bots. What are bad bots? Bad bots are the bots which can perform some activities over the network, over the internet, over the web, for which they are not authorized. For example, they may violate some rules, they may steal some information through the net, or even they may, what they can do, they can just keep the network busy by generating an artificial traffic so that the genuine user should not be able to use the network. Okay, so here are few examples that can be done by the malicious bot. For example, credential stuffing, web content scrapping, DOS and DDoS attack, that is denial of service that I was talking about, that keeping your network busy, brute force password cracking, inventory hoarding, spam content, email harvesting by just uh, scrapping the email IDs through the net, and then you can mail some spam contents to the through the different users. And click frauds, which is generally done in the advertisements. For generally what happens when we click on the advertisement, so we get some credits out of this. So what we can do, we can just create a bot for doing that task, and this bot is regularly or repetitively clicking on the various advertisements to earn the credits or to earn the money. So this is an example of few activities that can be done by the malicious bots. Now we can classify the bots into the two categories. One is the attended bot and another is unattended bot. Attended bot means the bot which needs some human being intervention. So once you have started your bot, this bot is doing some task, but in between the tasks of that bot, you also have to somewhere intervene. But unattended bots don't require any kind of human supervision. You have to just execute them, or even you can just make a schedule and they will work according to that schedule, and they don't want any kind of human being supervisor. Here is the path. This is very simple path of cognitive, that initially we have machine, then the machine with the vision capabilities, then you must have heard about the machine learning, then the computers or the machine which can understand the languages, then we have some machines which can do the reasonings, and finally the aim is to develop the machines which can just work like a human being, that is human like machine. And even beyond that, the objective is to develop the machine which can just bypass the intelligence level of the human being. Okay. Now one technology that is used to develop the bot is RPA, that is robotic process automation. And in market we have lot of tools available for the RPA, like we have UiPath, Blue Prism, Automation Anywhere, OutSystem, Eggplant, Help System, Visual Answer, Power Automate, Creator, Agenti, Pega, and so many. Okay, So here in this workshop, we are going to discuss a particular tool that is known as UiPath. So UiPath is a tool that is used to develop the bots. And the technology that is used by the UiPath is RPA, that is known as Robotic Process Automation. Now, AI has just accelerated the path. Okay. With the help of AI, you can make your bot intelligent enough, which can do the works for which the human being are more intelligent to do. Okay. For example, we are very intelligent to understand various documents, various images, and we are able to do the activities which need some sort of reasoning. So we are very good in that. So using AI, you can also develop the bots that can do the such kind of activities also. And examples are like understanding documents, as just I have said, classifying emails, chatbots, speech to text, text to speech, text mining, and lot of applications. Document understanding means extracting or interpreting or understanding the contents of a document. That document may be a PDF file, that document may be image, even a handwritten document, or any kind of scanned document. Email classification, that is one of the very important application of the machine learning. Which can just segregate various emails into the different categories, as you must have seen in your Gmail account also. Okay, process mining is monitoring a process and finding how it can be improved automatically. Okay, but I'm not going to discuss all of these in detail. So our main topic is chatbot, which is one of the application of the RPA. And all of you must be knowing that what is chatbot. So all of you know that generally what happens when we visit any website. So generally at the right bottom corner, we find a icon, and when we click on that icon, a window pop up, which is known as chatbot. And what we can do in this chatbot, we can put our question in the chatbot and this chatbot answers it. Okay. And it looks like that there's some person who is sitting at the other end and who is giving the answer to your questions. And this chatbot is just an interface for the question and answer. But actually, there is no human being, there's no person who is sitting at the other end. Actually, there is a program, AI based program, who is sitting at the another end, and that is just working like a human being. And it is not only a rule based, means actually we can classify the chatbots into the two categories: rule based and AI based, or NLP based. Okay, rule based means there are some rules and your chatbot is just following those rules to answer your question. And NLP means natural language processing based chatbot that can understand the intent of the question that you have put up in your chatbot window. They will analyze what actually you want to say in your question, and then accordingly generate the answer and send it to you. Okay. There are various technologies available for the chatbots, for developing the chatbots. Particularly if I talk about the UiPath, so UiPath supports mainly two of the frameworks, that is Dataflow and Druid. So what we are going to learn now in this workshop, we'll learn that how to develop the chatbot using the UiPath and Dataflow. Okay. So this is the list of various frameworks available in the market for developing the chatbots. Like one of the framework is Microsoft Bot Framework, Wet.ai, that is the Facebook framework, Dataflow. This is basically from the Google. Similarly, IBM Watson and so many others. So what we'll do, we'll use the Dataflow framework to develop the chatbots, and it's very user friendly and very easy way to develop your bots even without doing any single line code. Okay. So let us quickly move to the UI path. Actually, now see, when suppose I want to develop a chatbot, there are two things, two frameworks that I'll use. One is the data flow, and the second is UI path. Now, what is the role of the data flow and UI path? Data flow will create a chatbot that will provide you an interface where you can put some question and where you can get the response. But let us say one of your question needs some kind of processing. For example, in the question is like that you want some data through net. So there must be a bot at the background. That bot must get activated and fetch all those data from the internet and then display it in the chatbot. So what we'll do all the conversations, we'll design the chatbot and the data flow, and at the background, the bot task that will do in the UI path. So first of all, let us move to the UI path and see how we can develop bots in the UI path. And then we'll discuss what is data flow and how we can integrate both data flow and UI path. So let me start the UI path studio. Actually, UI path comes in three components. One is UI path studio, which I just started. This UiPath Studio is an IDE, is an environment where you can develop your bot, where you can just run your bots or test your bots. This is one part of the UiPath. Second path is the robot itself or the bot itself, the process or the program that actually executes and do the task. And the third part of the UiPath is orchestrator. Orchestrator is a component of UI path, and this is something like control panel of your PC. So if you want to compare orchestrator with the another tool, so it is something like control panel, which is just used to configure all the boards and do all the kind of settings and the configurations for the board. So let us quickly start with the board. So when you will start this UI path, you will see this first screen, and the bot here is known as process. UI path means which is used to automate the process. We are calling here process as bot as a process. So I want to create a new bot. So just click on the process, select here the folder where you want to save your bot. Okay. So I've selected one folder. Now give the name to your bot. Let's say my bot name is bot1, right? Then click on the create button. Wait for few seconds. It will take few seconds to start because it will restore all of the dependencies and all of the libraries required to develop the bot. Okay, now my this UI path studio is ready. Okay, so this is a window where you can design your bot. So at the left hand side, you can see there is a file that is known as main.xaml. So in short, we call it main.xaml file. So this is the basically file where we can design our bot. Double click here. So you will move to this window and you can see here a message drop activities here. So the beauty of the UI path is you need not to write any code. Okay. It provides lot of activities. Just by dragging and dropping the activities, you can develop a bot. So what I am going to do, I'm just going to create a very simple bot, and this bot is just to add two numbers. So the point is not to learn that how to add two numbers. The point is to learn the concept behind the bots. So that is why I have taken a very simple example. Now, adding two numbers requires first I'll enter the first number, then I'll enter the second number. Then what this bot will do, this bot will add the two number and then it will display the answer. So once you are able to understand this simple board, then you can develop any board. So after this, we'll also develop one advanced board. So first thing I need to do is entering the first number. For that, I have one activity, and this activity is input dialog. Just drag this activity and drop here. Okay, when you will drag here, it will say input level. What is the message that you want to give? Let's say input first number. Okay, and the number that you will input, where it will be stored. Okay, you must have some space, or you must have something, because you may not have some programming idea. So that is why you just try to understand this concept. If you want to store some data, you need some space to store the data. Okay, so we call it in programming variable. So we need to create a variable. Let's say the variable name is n1. Okay, so whatever value you will store, that will be stored in a, whatever value you will enter, that will be stored in a variable. So at the bottom, even there is a list of variable. You can see it has created a variable n1 whose type is string. But I want to input a number, so just change the type to int32. Int32 means a integer number. Okay. Those who don't have any programming idea, you just keep it simple. This input dialog box is to input something, right? Similarly, to input the second number, I need another input dialog box. Input second number. Okay. Similarly, I need a variable to hold this. Let's say the variable name is n2. Fine. Now what I have to do, I have to add two numbers. For adding, we have given an activity assignment. You just drag and drop the assignment. So actually the purpose is to show you that how easy it is to develop a bot. You just have to drag and drop the activities, just configure few properties and your bot is ready. Okay, now I am just telling you very simple activities. You have very powerful activities. So once you are able to use these activities, you can use those advanced activities also. Now where you will store the answer, again I need a variable. Okay, so let me define a variable here. I've defined a variable. Control K is a shortcut for defining a variable. I defined a variable sum, and what I want to do, I just want to add two numbers. Okay, one thing, this red icon, this shows there's some error. Why it is an error? Because some data type is string and we have to convert into the number. Done. Okay, now what's next I have to do? Okay, why it is showing error? Okay, just a minute. And 2 is also integer. Also change it to the integer. Now done. Okay. Now finally, I want to display that result. To display the result, you have two options. One is message box. Go to this message box. Okay. And display whatever you want to display. But this message box only displays the string. But the problem is sum is a number. So I need to convert it into the string. To convert into the string, there is a toString option. Okay. Now my bot is ready. Just run it. It will ask the first number. It take few seconds. This green icon, you can see this is your bot. The first number, then second number, and it will show the result in a message box. Now, can anybody tell me what is the type of this bot that we have created? Is it a attended bot or non-attended bot? Okay. So the answer is this is attended bot, because when this bot executes, we have to interact with this bot. We have to give our inputs through the keyboard. Okay, so that is why this is the attended bot. So this is a very simple example of the bot. Now let us quickly move to the another example because we have limited time. So let me just open a bot that I have already created for you because we have limited time. If I'll create it right now, it will take some time. Okay. What this bot will do, what I want to do, I want to find out the rating of a movie. Okay. Now, how you can find out the rating of a movie? We have a website for that. Just let me go to that website. That is Internet Movie Database. imdb.com. Okay. Here in this bar, you can enter the movie name whose rating you want. Let's say the movie name is The Godfather, and then you will click on the movie. And here you can see the rating of the movie, that is 9.2. Okay. Now, how I got this rating, the whole process I have done manually. I opened the Google Chrome, then I entered the URL of the site, then I entered the movie name, then I clicked on the movie, then I got the or cached that rating from the website. So everything I'm doing manually. So what I want to do, I want to create a bot. So the same process will be done by the bot. I'll create a bot. That bot will go to this website, will select the movie, and then give me the rating of the movie. And the bot is, let me show you that bot. Okay, so this is the bot. What this bot is doing, now you can see the first activity is open browser. From where I'll have this activity, just go to activity, type here open browser. You will get this activity. Okay, and drag and drop this activity. I have already done this for you. So I have open browser activity. Type here the URL that you want to open. Then the next activity that I have used is input or type into. The name of this activity is type into. And in type into, you have to specify that where you want to type. Okay. So if you will go to the properties, you will find here a property indicate on screen. Okay. So indicate on screen means you can indicate on the screen that on which control you want to type something. Okay, you need not to write a code. Only you have to move your cursor and you have to tell your bot that here you want to enter something. Okay. Then you have to click on the movie name. So I have taken the click activity for that. Finally, I'll read the rating. Okay, for that, I have taken the get text activity. And whatever you will read, whatever rating you will read, you have to store it somewhere. And for that purpose, I use a variable, and the name of this variable is rating. Okay. And finally, I have shown the answer and the result in a log message. Just like message box, we also have another way of displaying the result, and that is log message. Now let me run it, and then we'll see how it will work. Okay, run it. Okay, now I have executed this bot. I have to do nothing. This bot will do everything for me. Okay, now the bot has opened the browser. Bot has opened this URL imdb.com. Then the bot will type the movie name. Okay, just let me run it again. There are many windows opened actually. Bot has started. Open the URL. Select the file, and then it fetch the rating, and the rating it will give me the output window. So actually the things that is done by bot, not by me. Okay, so everything is done by bot here. So this is very simple example where I have a fixed movie name that is fetching the rating of that movie. But what you can do, you can also make it very advanced. Like you have a list of movies in maybe in Excel file. Now what you can do, you can fetch one by one the name of the movie, then go to that website, enter that movie name, then fetch the rating, then store the answer back to the Excel file. So this kind of typical task you may also perform. Okay. So this was just to give you an idea about the UI path, that what is UI path and how we can develop the bots. Okay, so you just have to drag and drop the required activities, configure those activities, and your bot is ready. Okay. Now, how we can use this UI path for developing the chatbots? Okay, so there are two parts basically. So let me move to the data flow, dialog flow, sorry, so that we can understand that how the things will move. So there's a website that is dialogflow.cloud.google.com. Just open it. First, you have to register. I have already registered, so I'll directly log into this site through your Gmail account. And this Dialogflow is the tool where you can develop your own bots. Sorry, your own chatbots. Okay. So I have already created one chatbot for you, but first let me just create a new chatbot, and then I'll explain the chatbot that I have already created for you. So how to create a new chatbot? So click here, there's an option, create new agent. Give the name, we call it agent. Okay, let's say the name is demo1. Okay, you can select here the language, time zone, and the other properties. Otherwise, keep it default. So it is creating that agent that is used to create the chatbot. Till it is in working state, let it be complete. Okay, done. Now my agent is created. Its name is demo1. So what happened under the chatbot? You can ask the various questions to the chatbot. To just treat each question as an intent. Okay. So first of all, you have to define what are the various intents you may have in the chatbot, right? And there are two default intents in the chatbot. One is default welcome intent. What this default welcome intent do, whenever you will log into the or whenever you will enter into the chatbot, it will just greet you. And how it will greet you? You can see the response. There is a property response. Okay, it will show you a message. How are you doing? Hello, how I can help you? So what I'm doing, okay, before that, one thing more. There are two things basically under the intent. One is that training phrases. Training phrases are the phrases that you will enter in the chatbot, okay, being a user, and response is the response from the chatbot, the answer from the chatbot. Now, what are the questions that you may ask? You may say, just going to say hi, hi, hello, hi. So these are the various strengths for which you have to train your chatbot. Okay, just to keep it simple, I am removing all of them. Okay, I'm keeping hello, hello there, a good day, and you may also write here hello. So I have taken only 4 phrases. Okay, these are the 4 strengths, or you may say the 4 messages, okay, that you may give to your chatbot. And if you will give this question to the chatbot, how chatbot will reply? This is the text response. So I'm deleting whatever responses are there by default. I just want to give my own message. Let's say the message is, it will say hello, I am chatbot. How I can help you. Okay. So this is the response. Means if you will give such kind of strengths, such kind of questions to your chatbot, so how your chatbot will reply? Your chatbot will reply by the response, hello, I am chatbot, how I can help you, right? Okay, and save this intent. Okay, so I have created one intent, that is welcome intent. Similarly, I want to create another intent. Let's say the another intent is, what is the intent name? The intent name is, let's say, news. This is the intent name. Okay, and what are the strengths that you will provide? You have to train this, and for training you have to provide the training phrases, training data, you may say. For example, if I'll say get me some news, this is one training phrase. Similarly, give me some news. Some news, please. So these kind of strengths, or the expression or the text, you may write in your chatbot. Okay, so if you will write such kind of question to the chatbot, how your chatbot will reply? You have to specify in the responses, add responses. And let's say my response is, please tell me the topic. Okay. So if you'll ask the chatbot to provide some news, how chatbot will reply? Chatbot will reply, tell me some tell me some topic. Save this intent also. Now I have created one chatbot whose name is demo1, right? Okay. And there are two intents. One is the welcome intent and another is the news intent. I want to test this chatbot. So at the right hand side, you can see there is an interface and there is a message written there, try it now. Let me try my chatbot. Is it working? I've written hi. Okay, now what is the response? The response is, hello, I'm chatbot. How I can help you? Okay, then I'll say, my next question to the chatbot is, get me some news. Now, how chatbot is replying? Please tell me the topic. Okay. So I have created one very simple chatbot where there are two intents. Now let us create one more advanced chatbot with more features where we can also integrate the UI path. In this chatbot, I have not used UI path anywhere. So the next chatbot that I'll create is news chatbot. How it will work? When you will run this chatbot, first you will say hi. Okay. Similarly, this chatbot will reply, hi, this is news chatbot, how I can help you. Then you will say, get me some news. Okay. Then chatbot will reply, please tell me the topic. What is the topic? Okay. Because if you want some news, you have to provide some topic. And you may provide any topic. Let's say you have provided the topic Bitcoin. I want news on Bitcoin. Now the question is how your chatbot will fetch the news on the Bitcoin. So all the news are there on the net. So it means I have to create one bot. What this bot will do, this bot will go to the net on the web, will search the news on the Bitcoin, fetch those news, and then give back those news to our this chatbot intent. What this intent will do, then this intent will display all of those news on your chatbot. So for that purpose, you can see I have created three intents. First intent is welcome intent that all of you you already know. Simply, if you will provide such kind of string, it will give you a response, hi, this is news chatbot, how I can help you. Okay. The second intent is get top second intent is get user question. In this intent, what is your question? My question is, I need some news, give me some news, get me some news. And what is the reply? The reply is on what topic you want news. Okay. Now in the third intent, which is the main intent, here you will provide the topic, that is get topic. And how you will provide the topic? Topic is iPhone, topic is Bitcoin, or you may write topic is Corona, like that. Okay, let's say I want to add a new training phrase, that topic is Corona. But if I'll just write the string like that, it will be like that fixed chatbot that will provide news only for the Bitcoin, iPhone, and Corona. But I want to make it journal that I can provide any topic and it should fetch the news related to that. For that purpose, there is a concept that is known as parameters. Okay, so just right click here. Okay, and when you will right click here, it will ask you the we basically in technical language we call it entities. Okay, so there is one entity sys.unit.name. You have to select it. Okay, this is the only detail you can understand right now. And what should be the response? The response is top 5 news on news topic. This news topic is the news topic that you will provide. Okay. I'm storing whatever news topic you will provide. I have to store this news topic in a variable. Okay. So I've just written news topic. So this is the name of the variable in which all of your topics will store, whether it is a Corona or iPhone or Bitcoin, whatever is the topic. And so the response is top 5 news on news topic. This is the topic that we will provide to your chatbot. And within the angular bracket, I have written news. This is the main thing. How we will get these news? Now your data flow will not do it. This is the task of your UI path. This UI path will go to the net and will fetch all the data. So I have already created one bot for that. I'll just show you that bot because we have limited time. Let me.
Sir, we have a questions also. So.
Okay, I'm just finishing it within the 5 minutes.
Thank you.
So this is my news chatbot process. What this process will do, this process will go to the web, will fetch the news. Okay, so because that is already created, so it will not take much time. I just want to show you. So this is bot, very simple bot. Just within 3 or 4 activities, you can do this bot. This is the bot. Okay. So in this bot, there's a get password. This password is required to fetch the information from the news from the web. This is HTTP request, means you will send a request to the web. Now the result that the web will give to you, this is in the format of the JSON format. Okay. So this is just a format for those who don't know what is JSON. This is simply a format. And then what I did, I assigned the result returned by this bot in simply a variable, news variable. And this is the same variable that is used here in the data flow. So this is your data flow part where I have created intents. And this is my bot. This bot will go to the web, will fetch the news. And now finally, what I want to do, I want to check my chat box, how it is working. So let me just open it. You have to do some configurations for that. I have already done. So I can directly open that chatbot. So now my chatbot is ready. So just click here. This is your chatbot. Okay. Give your questions. My first question is hi. Now chatbot has replied, hi, this is news chatbot. How I can help you? Basically, this is my welcome intent. Now my next question is get me some news. Now my chatbot is asking on what topic you want news. Okay, now I have to provide topic. Let's say the topic is Bitcoin. Now you can see a message working on it. Why working on it? Because now it is calling that bot of UiPath. This bot is going to the web, searching the news from the web for the Bitcoin, because there are many news on related to the Bitcoin. So I have displayed only the 5 top news. Now it has displayed the 5 top news on the Bitcoin. Similarly, you may provide the topic Corona or whatever topic news you want. So you can see just within the half an hour, okay, what I have done, I have created one very simple chatbot, and this chatbot is known as news chatbot. Okay, with the 3 intents. So similarly, you can have multiple intents with the advanced capabilities. Okay, so you have to design all the conversations in data flow, in dialog flow, sorry. And on the other hand side, all the processing, all the programming kind of thing that you have to do in the UI path. And not even programming, without writing any programming, you can develop the board just by dragging and dropping the activity. Okay, So I think I have done it in the simple way, because in the limited time, this is only possible to present the simple things. Now, Sachin sir, so next we have to go for the question answer session, or shall I move to some slides first?
Yeah, you can please start with the slide, and meanwhile I'll ask the questions as well.
Okay, okay, okay. So
So
before
dear
wrapping,
participants, I hope you have liked the session. You can comment into the question or the chat box. Uh, what are your questions, and as well as did you like the sessions or not? Uh, uh, Dr. Sunil, you would like to share the presentation?
yes, sir, I have shared it. Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, okay, fine, thank you. So I think I have completed the all the slide. Only 2 or 3 slides are pending. I'll just explain it quickly. So I have just explained till this chatbot. Now coming to our school, that is Amity School of Engineering and Technology, uh, where I'm working, and we are providing a lot of programs. Okay, some of the programs, the main programs that I have highlighted in the slide, that we are providing BTech in CSC, IT, IoT, AIML. This is artificial intelligence and machine learning. Apart from that, some standard BTech degrees like mechanical, electronics, biomedical engineering, civil engineering, aerospace engineering, and solar engineering. We are also providing MTech, very specialized MTech and specialized areas. Those are very demand right now in this time. One is NCS, that is network and cybersecurity, AIR, that is artificial intelligence and robotics, DS, data science, artificial intelligence and machine learning. And we also provide the dual degree, that is BTech and MTech. Few other programs that comes under the school are BSc IT, Information Technology, BCA, and BCA plus MCA and MCA. So these are the few programs that we provide under the school. And I'm also coordinating one center, that is Center for Robotics and AI, where we are working on robotics related projects. Some of the glimpse you can see, and I mentioned some of the very innovative projects that we are working on under this center, like humanoid robot, and the robotic arm, and then bionic arm, home automation system, IoT based system, and many more. And our major thrust area is industrial robotics, humanoid robotics, medical robotics, unmanned aerial vehicles, autonomous vehicles, robotic process automation, which you have just seen in this workshop, and AI agents. And regularly we are conducting various kind of events related to the robotics and AI and machine learning. For example, WRO, we are participating in this event, that is World Robotic Olympiad, for which we also won at the national level, and also participated at the international level, Robothon, RoboWar, RoboRace, RP workshop, and the other workshops. Okay, here are some glimpses of the Center of Robotics and AI, where students are working on various projects or participating in various events. Okay, now over to you, Sachin sir, for the question
Sure.
answer session. You may.
Sure. So I would request IT moderator to please initiate for the poll. Dear participants, hope you have liked the session. I would request you to please rate it. Dr. Sunil, meanwhile, I would like to have a question with you because there are a lot of questions. So I'll take it in the sequence it has come. The first one, it has come from Arth Babbar. Does data breach also comes under bot? So I would request a brief answers because there are a lot many questions.
Please repeat the question.
Does data breach also come under bots?
No, see, data breach is a kind of attack, and bot is a program. Yes, we can develop bot which can perform some data breach kind of activities. As in my presentation, I told you that our bots may be good bots or the bad bot. Bad bot means the bots which can perform some malicious activities, and your data breaching is one of the malicious activities. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Uh, Then the one is anonymous attendee, but I think he is asking about the question that was put up around the tools that you were mentioning about the bots. So he has asked which one is the best one to use for.
See, it is very difficult to say which one is the best one. All tools are used, like what I have explained, Dialogflow. It is one of the very commonly used tool because it is provided by the Google technology, and Google technology in right now used in almost in all the areas. So we can't just say this two. It depends upon the requirement. Okay, but two, three, or four main tools are like the IBM Watson that I told you, Google that what I have done, and one more is there, that is Microsoft Board. So these are some popular tools that is used for the bot development. And for the RPA side, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism. These are few technologies that are commonly used.
Right. I would request you to please unshare your screen so that you
Okay.
are more visible
Right.
and we can discuss more. So Parth is mentioning, and it is an interesting one. Is there any AI that can feel or even learn from surroundings?
Yes, exactly. We have such kind of sensors. Okay. We have such kind of sensors which can even feel. They can just sense the even the smell. They can have the feel like touch. So we have lot of advanced sensors which can do such kind of activities. Yes, I can say that it's not exactly same as like the way we are doing. Okay, but yes, these kind of technologies are there, and lot of research is going on to develop such kind of sensors to just give you such kind of feel. Okay. Yes, sir.
So
Next question.
here are the polls results, and thank you so much, participants, for loving this workshop. We appreciate your response, and Dr. Sikas, thank you so much. I think everyone has taken it in a good note, and they have learned it well. So congratulations to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next question is from again from the Parth. Can I make an assistant like Siri?
Yes, obviously. Chatbot can have all type of interface. It may be a text based. It may have interface which is voice based, and it may have interface which is image based also. So all kind of technologies right now we have. Obviously, with the help of AI, we can develop such kind of applications also. Next question.
Right. The next one is sir, as we see the top 5 news were repeated almost similar about Tesla, Bitcoin. How can we filter this out and get more
Yes.
advanced replies from the chatbot?
Yes. This depends upon your bot, the way you have designed your bot. So how I designed the bot, I have filtered only the, when I flash the news, I have filtered only top 5 news. So that is why repeatedly same news is coming. So obviously you can do that. You may filter the news based on some another criteria based on some another keywords, or you may define your own criteria. So that kind of things you may do. But because I have developed a very simple bot which is fetching only the top 5 news, so that is why it is showing this news. But yes, we can do with whatever you have said, that we can do obviously. But for that we have to design our bot like that.
Right. So Arunesh Kumar has asked this question. It is free or paid to make chatbots?
See, the Dialogflow that I have used, that is freely available with limited features, and the UiPath Humanity Edition is also freely available. So both the tools I have not paid anything for that. Both are freely available.
Okay. The next one is we can ask in another language. I think Nihit, I think you can write it here, and we can ask the question. So I'm done with the questions. Dr. Snell, you would like to conclude?
Okay, so thank you participants for attending this workshop, and I'll request you to please go to whatever you have learned in the web application in this workshop, you just go to all these web application, all these tools. So it is very easy to learn. A lot of tutorials are also available on the YouTube, and you may also reach to me in case if you have any further help required. Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sunil Sikka, for your wisdom of knowledge that you have shared in this webinar, and with the kind of feedback that you have received. Congratulations to you. Dear students, with respect to engineering, as Dr. Sunil Sikka also mentioned, we have Center of Robotics, Center of Artificial Intelligence and Learning, and some of the students have asked about the fee structure of MTech and BTech. So I have shared the link to them and shared it in the chat box as well. You can go visit our website. There is a microsite as well where you can visit the engineering microsite. Forms are currently free with respect to the COVID-19 humanitarian gesture, and scholarships are also available. Those who are scored in 80% marks in their class 12th, they can secure 25% of the scholarship. Those who have scored 88% and above, they will get 50%, and 100% scholarship for those who will score 93% and above. So we have a lot of students coming from across India who are taking this meritorious based scholarship. So I would encourage all of you to please at least apply and get into the chain of the admission process at Amity University, Gurugram. So with this, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you, Dr. Sunil Sikka, for giving your wisdom of knowledge. Thank you, Mobin, for this hosting and the IT support from your side.